Morning, everybody. I'm back again. It is, I just started here looking at the Lord's leading me into Esther now. So I just looked, I came down here and started looking at it at 7:19. So I looked that up. The Lord said, look that up, and He wanted me to share it with you guys. And it is an articulation of the body, a joint. So he's giving hints here, you guys. He's telling everybody you are part of my body about me. And you too, if you're listening. We all are. Okay, so let's see here. What I wanted to go into, and this is where he told me, I got up and I was easing into my day and I turned on some YouTube to watch that. And this guy, was telling you about people that are watching like the celestial signs, the guy that I talked about in my previous video, he he's watching the signs in the heavens. This guy's doing a lot with the moons. Okay, so this is another one. Look at him. He wants everybody to see this because I'm subscribed to these people. Okay, I go in as a guest on my TV. um my son has an account, and so I don't have anything. I don't subscribe or anything. So we just talked about this, and I noticed that when I did the stellarium thing that I miscounted there, so you guys couldn't really see it. So he wants you guys to go to the people that specialize in this. I see, because here this guy, I haven't seen him in a while, and here he just showed up today. Okay, so he's definitely a God man too. And the Lord has him working on all these blood moons and oh eclipses, you name it. This guy does a lot of stuff on that. And then I know he's definitely one of our people because he tells stories about like these dreams that the Lord gives him and stuff. So anyway, you should go check out his channel, and I will put a link in there. And so, since this came up, the Lord wanted me to go into Esther, okay, because he's talking about Esther 4:14 in this video. Um, so I've already looked it up here, and the Lord just wants me to read this to you, and then I'll point out things that I'm knowing or seeing. Oh, one thing he did want me, I've almost forgot here. I made a list of them. The Lord, okay, so you understand, many of us have been back and forth, okay, through this world to come and help the body. Okay, we always come into this world. This is what he's told me. Now, you can't look this up in the word. This is things that he talked to me about. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if there's links, but I'm not sure where you can. We're all were angels, you guys, every one of them, us. We already talked about that Jesus is a part of uh, the father's spirit, okay, and then the mother inside of him, Eve, is the a part of hers, which is wisdom. Really, is what she was in heaven. Okay, so she was wisdom, he was Jesus. And so then they birthed all of the spirits up in heaven. And you can find that in the word. It says that he knew us before we ever were sent here. Okay. That's because we existed in heaven. So all of us go through heaven or through the earth to be tested. Okay. Are we going to do, okay. First of all, let me just talk about this. So before we come down here, we all volunteer for it. Okay. And then we have a contract with him. There's certain things in that contract that we need to fulfill, okay, each one of us. So I'm sure some people could be the first time their first go through in this uh on the earth, okay, but then there's some people that have been back and forth. Okay, I talked about Lucifer even was tested because he became Cain. Okay, after he inseminated her, he was only a spirit at that point. After she got pregnant with his child, then he had to go through, and he was Cain. That's why it says he was marked. Okay, so so now Jesus wants you guys to know, this is what he wants me to share, this, that um him and Wisdom have been through here many, many times. That she's been back and forth since she was brought on this earth. Okay, he was too until he was crucified. Okay, and resurrected and ascended into heaven. Then she stayed here only, and she was back and forth. So, um, first, of course, they were Adam and Eve. Then they were Abraham and Sarah. Then they were Jacob and Rachel. Okay, Jacob and Rachel is a huge story that parallels with all of this. Okay, in that story, Leah, we know that Jacob was fooled, and Leah, um, he got drunk, and then Leah, they put on a veil on her, and he didn't know he was marrying Leah. Well, that was about Lilith. Okay, that's a parallel to the first 7,000 years when he created earth, and then man and woman were um created there in the 6,000th year. Okay, so then here came Eve. Okay, so this is why Jacob had to wait. They fooled him, and then he had to wait another 7 years to marry Rachel. Okay, it was a point of that. Okay, because he had to wait 7 years to, or 7,000 years. This is a parallel to to get to Rachel, the one that he truly wanted. Okay. And Leah is a representation of Israel. Okay. Since the 7 years of tribulation. Okay. That's a representation of. Okay. So then, but he had to wait till he got to the one that he truly loved and wanted to marry. Okay. So, they were so they were Jacob and Rachel. They were Ruth and Boaz. They were Esther and Mordecai. They were Hosea and Gomer, and they were David and Bathsheba. Okay. So that, I mean, you guys can find what when you hear this, that you find what you can that ties into this. I mean, because I could go into a ton of stuff there, but I'm going to try to get to what he really wants me to do here. Okay, so when Mordecai perceived all that was done, Mordecai rent his clothes and put on sackcloth with ashes and went out into the midst of the city and cried with a loud and bitter cry, and came even before the king's gate. For none might enter into the king's gate clothed with sackcloth. And in every province, so this is representing the church, okay? Clothed in, he's trying to get us all through the gate so we don't have to wear sackcloth, okay? And in every province, whithersoever the king's commandment and his decree came, there was great mourning among the Jews, and fasting, weeping, and wailing, and many lay in sackcloth and ashes. Okay, this is all of us right now, what we're doing for the kingdom of God. We're not literally in sackcloth, but we're pleading out to God, for him to, like me, when I do intercession, I'm praying for the United States. I'm praying for everything he shows me. Okay, the things that I see are unrighteous and I want corrected. And the whole body is doing this, that is in line. Okay, we all are praying. He's got us declaring and decreeing and doing all that we can for the kingdom, because we have to speak it out into the atmosphere. So Esther's maids and her chamberlains came and told her. Then was the queen exceedingly grieved, and she sent raiment to clothe Mordecai. Okay, raiment. We know that word showed up in Psalm 45. He's showing you a connection to this. She shall be brought unto the king in raiment of needlework. The virgins, her companions that followed her, shall be brought unto thee. Okay, so this is also talking about her and the body. Okay, and then called Esther for Hatash, one of the king's chamberlains, whom he had appointed to attend upon her, and gave him a commandment to Mordecai to know what it was and why it was. So Hatash went forth to Mordecai unto the street of the city, which was before the king's gate. And Mordecai told him of all that had happened unto him, and the sum of the money that Haman had promised to pay the king's treasury for the king for the Jews to destroy them. Also, he gave him the copy of the writing of the decree that was given at Shushan to destroy them, to show into it unto Esther, and to declare it unto her, and to charge her that she should go in unto the king to make supplication unto him, and make requests before him for her people. Okay, Song of Solomon. This is making me think of this, where he sent her out into the streets. Okay, and Hatach came and told Esther the words of Mordecai. Again, Esther spake unto Hatach and gave him commandment unto Mordecai. All the king's servants and the people of the king's province do know that whosoever, whether man or woman, shall come unto the king into the inner courts, who is not called, there is one law of his to put him to death, except such to whom the king shall hold out the golden scepter, that he may live. But I have not been called to come in unto the king these 30 days. Okay. She's not called in yet. This is a parallel too. We could pick that apart, but I'm getting low on time. So I'm going to let you guys think about this and see what you can see in this. And they told Mordecai Esther's words. Then Mordecai commanded to answer Esther, think not with thyself that thou shalt escape in the king's house more than all the jewels. Okay, she's going through a whole bunch of stuff, just like all of us. You're not going to escape all of this stuff just because you're going to marry the king, okay? For if thou altogether holdest thy peace at this time, then shall there enlargement and deliverance arise to the Jews from another place. But thou and thy father's house shall be destroyed. And who knoweth whether thou art come to the kingdom for such a time as this? Okay, so this is all paralleling with these times. Then Esther bade them return Mordecai this answer: go gather together all the Jews that are present in Shushan, and fast ye for me. Okay, he's constantly, there's people out there on YouTube. He's been having a fast left and right. Okay, and me too. And neither eat nor drink 3 days, nights or day. I also and my maidens will fast likewise, and so will I go in unto the king, which is not according to the law. And if I perish, I perish. Okay, so she's doing all she can. I've already talked about that. The evil one hates her worse than anybody, because he knows that she was the reason he was condemned to hell. So Mordecai went his way and did according to all that Esther had commanded him. Okay, so she's out here busy doing whatever he instructs her to do, just like we need to do. She's being obedient, you guys. That is the key. Be obedient. She also, I'm going to reiterate that the way she made herself ready was to accomplish whatever he had written in her book. Okay, all of our books are written. You can find that in Psalm 139. She had to fulfill everything in this lifetime. We saw in Ezekiel 16, that was about her life. If you read that, okay, those are things she had to do because she had to fulfill what was said about her. Okay, so we have a book. Each one of us has a book too. What it says in it, I don't know. You could probably go through your life and figure that out. If you look back on your life, he's had me do this, you'll see connections all the way through your life that is connected to these times, that we're leading up to these times. Okay, you can figure that out. You'll remember these things, and he'll cause you to remember it. If you can't, ask him to cause you to remember what he wants you to remember, and tie to what's written in your book. All right. I think that is good, and I am gonna stop there. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, Here we are at Friday, and God bless you all. Bye bye.